Gonzo doesn't tip. It's the two sides. When you come from money chat, you either tip an extraordinary amount or you don't tip. This is the second episode of Tierlist Tuesday. This will be going on YouTube. I love y'all. Let's get started. We are going to be answering the question, which Overwatch characters leave a tip? Are we ready? Which Overwatch characters leave a tip? And I will be using my extensive knowledge as a bartender and server. I'm an expert in this, chat. I am an expert. Yeah, say hi to YouTube. Say hi to YouTube. Go sub on YouTube if you haven't. Tell your friends about it. I'm trying to post consistently. All right, chat, here we go. And so I'm drawing from personal experience, both in my knowledge of the Overwatch characters and being a huge fan of Overwatch, and also having been a waiter and bartender and also worked many years in customer service. So when you're an actor, you have to do the worst jobs and put up with the worst people. So let's get started. So Ana, okay, so here's the thing about Ana. She's old, which already like puts you on a bad foot. Like, I hate to say it, older people do not tip very well. However, she's a grandma and she's a cool grandma, and I feel like she would tip, but like I feel like she used to tip 10%, and then her granddaughter Farah, or his daughter Farah, was like, Ma, you have to tip 20%. Like, that's what I did with my parents. I'm like, no. Every time, no matter what, you tip 20%. So I feel like she's gotten that talk and listened, and she now tips 20%. Back in the day, Ana was probably tipping 10%. But now, she's tipping 20. She's tipping 20. And just so, let's go through the tiers, I guess. I didn't go through them. So at the top, we got tips extraordinary amount, and then tips 50%. Tips 20%, which is good. Tips 10%. At least you're tipping, I guess. Doesn't tip, and then no tip and leaves a patronizing note. That is the scum of the earth. The scum of the earth do that. She is a healer. That does count for something. Yes, indeed. Ash. Okay. Moving on to Ash. Ash comes from money. So already... So if you come from money, chat, you either tip an extraordinary amount, like, well, I guess Shaquille O'Neal doesn't come from money, but Shaq does have a lot of money. But if you come from money like Ash does, you either tip an extraordinary amount or you don't tip. I have yet, in my time as a server, having like waited on people who make an extraordinary amount of money. It's really extraordinary amount or doesn't tip. And for Ash, she doesn't tip. No fucking way. No way does Ash tip. Yeah, Blue Dell. Yeah, she doesn't tip. No way. Anybody who orders their robot assassin servant around like she does not fucking tip. No way. Doesn't tip. Okay, I don't actually know what to do about Hammond. What does Hammond... what is Ball? I don't know. Does Ball tip, chat? That's such... Ball just a tip? I feel like Ball doesn't tip. I feel like if you... Yeah, I don't think Ball tips. Ball does not tip. Bastion? Oh, no, that's not Bastion. This is Bastion. Batiste. I'm getting ahead of myself. Batiste. All right. Batiste definitely tips. Definitely tips. I'm in between tipping 10% or tipping 20. Since he's a younger dude, I'm going tipping 20. Batiste tips 20%. Batiste definitely tips 20%. Bastion? Oh man, I don't know about Bastion. I feel like it's like Bastion. I know there's a few of these like going into it. I was just like, Bastion. Pretty gracious. I feel like if Bastion were to have money to tip, he would tip. But does he even need sustenance? I don't think he needs sustenance. So maybe no tip? Yeah, Bastion doesn't tip. Not because he's not kind enough to, simply because he doesn't really go to restaurants at all. If he were to go to restaurants, I'd say he'd tip 20. But we'll say doesn't tip. Torbjorn. Oh, Torbjorn. Okay, so Torbjorn When he's out with Brigitte, we'll tip 20. When he's out alone, Torbjorn tips 10. When Brigitte is there to be like, Dad, Dude, and shield bashes him, Dad, you got a tip. Then he tips 20. But if Brigitte's not there, he's tipping 10. He's tipping 10. Brigitte, I feel, it's like, what's the distinction between tipping 50 and tipping 20? I feel like she's a solid, like, 20% tipper. Kind of like how I am, you know, no matter what happens, you're at least getting 20. Like, that is just the baseline for any interaction that I have with waitstaff or servers. You're getting 20. If you're delivering me food, probably 25, because shit's rough out there. All right, Doomfist. Okay, so Doomfist is the villain, but I feel like I don't know if there's any besides the canon terrorism, I guess he's a part of. I feel like might be our first tip 50%. Like, I know that might sound strange, but I feel like he's a villain. He's wearing the suit. Like, he's a dude who you know what I mean? Like the mob bosses who always leave like gregarious tips. I feel like Doomfist tips 50%. Like, I have in my experience never met a villain like a super villain with a giant fist. But I feel like Doomfist is our first tip 50% because he has the money. He has the money. Okay, so now we have Diva. Diva, oh man. Diva, I don't know where to put Diva. Definitely not no tip and leaves pay. No, she definitely tips. I feel like, is Diva rich, chat? I know that her backstory is she's like a esports player. Is she like someone who has a lot of money from esports and so tips like a stupid amount? I kind of want to put Diva in and tips 20%. Even though she has a lot of money, I'm not sure. I think tips 20%. For sure. For sure. Echo. See, Echo kind of goes in the same place as Bastion for me because she's an Omnic. But at the same time, if Echo's picking up the tab, it'd probably be top tier. But I feel like, just like Bastion, doesn't tip. She would tip, but she doesn't because she can't. Oh, Genji. Okay, here's the thing, chat. Genji comes from a crime family. I would say before, when Genji was in his partying days, would tip an extraordinary amount. And honestly, I don't know if that has changed since he's become like part Omnic, but like coming from a crime family, like I feel like Genji's the party dude who like tips, who orders bottle service and goes out with his friends and like tips an extraordinary amount. And I think that, I don't know if he goes to restaurants now as much as he used to when he was a party animal, but yeah, definitely tips an inordinate amount because he comes from the wealthy crime family. His brother Hanzo doesn't tip. It's the two sides. When you come from money, chat, you either tip an extraordinary amount or you don't tip. And the difference between Genji and Hanzo is that Genji will tip an extraordinary amount and Hanzo will not tip. Hanzo will not tip. Even though he comes from a crime family, not tipping. He's just that dude. He's just that dude. No, not gonna tip. He's very much like, your boss should pay you a living wage. I'm not gonna leave a tip. All right, Junkrat. Oh, Junkrat. He's a little wild. It's like, is he like Anarchy Mutual Aid or is he like ANCAP? You know what I mean? I feel like he would tip a random amount. I don't know. Or maybe he's trying to save his money. He doesn't have, honestly though, Junkrat doesn't have that much money to begin with. So maybe he wants to tip. Tips at 10. Tips, yeah, he tips whatever he has left in his pocket. I like that. Lucio, yeah, younger, tips 20%. Stable, 20%, no matter what. Just standard. standard dude. Cassidy Wassity? What do we do with Cassidy? Does Cassidy tip? Cassidy tips. Cassidy does leave a tip. But I think it is like a 10% tip. Yeah. Cassidy's a 10% tip. Cassidy tips, not very happy about it. Oh man. Oh, May tips 50. Easy. May is like, I feel like we used to have these people who would come into the restaurant that I worked in. They wouldn't come often, but when they did, they would tip really well. Like they would tip like almost 50%. And they were always like shy or nervous. And whenever I served them, I would like make zero small talk. Like I would just be very direct because I could tell that they were just like about their business. And I feel like May is exactly like that. May doesn't go out much, but she goes out. She's definitely making sure everybody who serves her like is tipped very well. Yeah, May is definitely tips at 50%. Yo, Mercy tips an extraordinary amount. I feel like Mercy tips an extraordinary amount because she's making up for the lack of tip that Torbjorn leaves. So whenever they go out, Torbjorn and Mercy and all the old Overwatch people went out, like Mercy picks up the tip that Torbjorn doesn't. Only, you know what I mean? Just to make sure the servers know they're appreciated. We appreciate you. I got your back. Torbjorn might leave a shitty tip, but Mercy's got your back. Moira doesn't tip. Are you fucking kidding me? Moira? No way Moira tips. Anybody, Moira's like the antithesis of May. Like they're both scientists, but Moira's very much like ends justifies the means. Like why would I tip? It does me no good. Like I've already paid for the service. Why do I need to pay more for a service? It's not my fault that society has built this way and is like forcing me to do this. It's a dumb rule and I'm not going to follow it because I'm super duper smart. And that's fucking Moira. That's Moira. Doesn't tip at all. Orisa would tip but doesn't because she doesn't go out. Much like our other Omnics, I feel bad. But would tip. If Orisa could tip, definitely 20% for sure. But doesn't tip. Farah, yeah, Farah's in the tips 20, definitely in the tips 20, and we, as we talked about, the only reason that Anna is in the tips 20 is because of Farah. Like, but unlike Torbjorn, Anna tips 20% all the time, just like Farah, whereas Torbjorn tips 10% when he's not with Brigitte. These relationships are real, chat. They're very real. Okay, Reaper. Reaper. I think Reaper does. I think he tips 10% though. Like he's worried that people will make fun, like not make fun of him, but shame him because he doesn't tip. So he does tip, but he doesn't tip 20. He tips 10%. Reinhardt. Oh, I feel like, Reinhardt. He's such a gregarious guy. I feel like when he's going out and getting steins with the bros, like he's tipping 50%. You know what I mean? Like he's putting all that war criminal money to good use. Like he's going out and getting brewskis with his other Crusaders, and he's picking up the tab and he's giving the server a nice tip because those men are large and they leave a mess, and he understands that that's a lot to deal with, so he leaves a nice tip. I've met many a gregarious Reinhardts in my day as a server, and they always tip well. They always tip well. Better than 20% for sure. Roadhog. Oh. My first instinct is that Roadhog doesn't tip, but I feel like Roadhog kind of has a soft spot to him and actually does tip like standard. Roadhog's like, I may have a brusque outer layer, but inside I'm soft. And I know and I understand the work that servers do, and so I will tip appropriately. Yeah. I like standard 20% for Roadhog. Sigma, all right, chat. I knew that this is where Sigma was gonna go. No tip, and he leaves the patronizing note on the receipt. This is Sigma all the way, dude. This is Sigma all the way with his no shoes and his feet. Sigma does not leave a tip, and he will leave some like keep working hard in life, or maybe like some people do this, they leave no tip, but then they leave like a Bible verse, and that is just the worst. It's like, not only are you not gonna leave a tip, you're also going to leave a patronizing note. Sigma, for sure. Okay, Soldier 76. So Soldier 76 is, I don't know, I feel like he's kind of in the same place as Ana. Maybe in his younger days, he would only tip 10%, but I feel like now he tips 20. He's been around the way. He knows better. He's listened. I feel like solid 20. Even Soldier, yeah. Ooh, Sombra. Oh, man. Sombra either tips 20 or she tips 50. Like, she's one of two, I feel like. I feel like either one of these she could go into. It depends if she likes you. If she likes you, she'll tip 50. So in between these two, we'll put her in the tips 20. Ooh, Symmetra. Symmetra is high-tech scientist. I think Symmetra tips 50. I think Symmetra definitely tips 50. I feel like she gets paid incredibly well for what she does, and she knows that people don't have it as well as her, and she wants to overdo some social cues, I feel like, and so she's gonna tip 50% for sure. I like Symmetra being at the tip 50%. That feels true to me. Okay, Tracer. Ooh, Tracer definitely tips 20. No way Tracer doesn't tip 20. I don't think she ever tips 50 though, to be honest. I don't think she ever tips 50. I think she's a solid just 20% tipper. Nothing wrong with that. Just like bloop, 20% tipper. Cavalry's here. Everything's all right. Oh, Widowmaker. Oh, before she became Widowmaker, probably definitely tipped. As Widowmaker, honestly, if I was like the server, if I was the waiter for a Widowmaker and she didn't tip me, I'd probably be like, that's okay. I got to, like, just this, like, you're this incredibly attractive blue sniper woman. Like, it's just an honor to serve you, ma'am. But I don't think Widowmaker tips. She doesn't leave a patronizing note, but I don't think Widowmaker doesn't really have like empathy anymore, I feel like, so I don't think she's gonna tip. Winston. Ah, Winston. I feel like Winston is in like the 20%. Like, he's gregarious like Reinhardt, but he's also a scientist, so like that knocks him down to like 20%. I'm not saying that scientists are like less frugal, but like it's like your demeanor and also like how analytical you are. Because you can reason your way out of giving a tip. And so I feel like Winston's just like, it's societally acceptable for me to leave a 20% tip. And does. Ooh, Zarya. Ah. Zarya. Honestly, I feel like Zarya is the other person that in the no tip and leaves patronizing note. As much as I love Zarya and love to play Zarya, I can't see her tipping. I really can't. I feel like she would also be like, next time get a better job. Like, I really don't see her tipping, and I really do like, I feel like she would leave a patronizing note, especially because canonically she doesn't tip Omnix, or she doesn't like Omnix, so I feel like especially if it's an Omnix, definitely no tip and definitely a patronizing note. Oh, and then Zenyatta doesn't tip. Definitely if Zenyatta, like the other Omnix, would tip, and I feel like would tip an extraordinary amount if he could, but he's also a monk. He's a monk. He doesn't really need worldly things. He doesn't go out much, so he doesn't tip, but he does so much charity in other ways. So that's all the characters. Here's our full tier list. I wonder if we have any final edits. If I were to make one change, I'd probably put Moira in the no tip and leaves patronizing note. Now that I look at it, I feel like Moira would definitely leave a patronizing note on her receipt. And by the way, I do ship Genji and Mercy. That has nothing to do with anything, but I know like Mercy is like, I don't know. I'm not up on all that, but I am a Genji Mercy shipper. So this has nothing to do with this. It's not why they're there, but that's just so you know, that is a thing. Thank you for coming in for episode 2 of Tierlist Tuesday. This week's episode, which Overwatch characters leave a tip? I actually had a lot of fun making this, so I hope you enjoy it. I'm gonna save it, and I'll probably post it on my Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Also,